Hello and welcome everybody to the Crypto Mining Show, your one-stop shop for all cryptocurrency news from the perspective of a cryptocurrency miner. I go by Blind Run on the internet and Matthew in real life. And we told you so. The Ethereum network has finally broken for its first time. The beacon chain stopped finalizing for 25 minutes. We're going to look at more details for that. Ergos Rosenbridge has launched into public beta testing on mainnet now, and BlockFi crypto customers fail in dispute over coin transfers. It's not your crypto, not your keys, not your crypto, just another lesson, and we're going to always talk about them when they come in. We're streaming early today because after this, I will be streaming over on twitch.tv/blindrun for the Diablo 4 beta. Come on over there and hang out if you would like. I will leave links at the end of this show for that. And then we are also going to be talking about FBEN token. Yes, do you not like Ben? Do you not like Ben Armstrong? Do you not like Ben.eth? Are you frustrated with getting rug pulled all the effing time? Well, I got a token for y'all. So we'll check that out. It's already gone up like something like 19,000% over the past 24 hours and is absolutely insane. Then we're going to be talking about PEPEAI Coin. And we have an article here from Tyler Durden on Zero Hedge talking about PEPEAI Coin. And essentially the difference between the OG PEPEAI Coin and the PEPEAI token that is on the ETH blockchain, that is an imposter, I say. Another interesting thing about the PEPEAI coin that we're going to be talking about is the launch of an AI proof of useful work testnet, and I'll be giving you guys the details on that. There we go. We're also going to be talking about new miner releases, lots of new ones, including, interestingly enough, some of the improvements from Ironfish bleeding on over to Blake 3 for Alephium, which I think is super beneficial. I was hoping to see that actually happen, and we'll have to get some more testing done later on down the line. Let's get into all of that and more, as always, right after a word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is myself. I recently launched a crypto mining e-course at sonofatech.com, and it includes 9 steps to cover when you decide to start your crypto mining journey. This is specifically pertaining to 2023 crypto mining profits and taking advantage of the down market to achieve skyrocketing growth as we move into the next halving of Bitcoin. You'll learn buying mining equipment in a bear market, using outside investment to speculative mine, begin mining once profit is established, sell mine crypto to pay for electricity, hold and prep for the bull run, sell at the top of the bull market, sell mining equipment at the top of the bull market, and begin investing in land and power so that you can bring in outside investors to utilize excess resources. Thanks everybody for your support, and I hope you enjoy the course. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. And welcome back. Hopping into the biggest news for the day. Big breath as Beacon Chain stops finalizing. The Ethereum mainnet briefly stopped finalizing transactions but recovered after 25 minutes. You know what this doesn't happen on? Proof of work chains. Just in case you were wondering. An unidentified issue on Ethereum's Beacon chain led to an issue with transaction finality for nearly half an hour on May 11th. Around 8:15 p.m. UTC on May 11th, a number of Ethereum core developers announced that the Beacon chain was having issues confirming transactions. New blocks were able to be processed, but an unknown issue was preventing them from being finalized. A similar issue occurred on March 15th, where low validator participation rates caused a delay on the Goerli testnet version of Ethereum Shapella upgrade, which was successfully executed on mainnet on April 12th. The Beacon chain is Ethereum's original proof-of-stake blockchain, the first launched in 2020. On September 15th of 2022, Ethereum's pre-existing proof-of-work chain got merged with the Beacon chain, finalizing the network's transition to a faster and more environmentally proof-of-stake mechanism. You know, because GPUs emit emissions. They're terrible for the environment. Yes, I know the argument is that it's the power that they use, but I would go ahead and once again point out that the crypto mining industry is highly incentivized to go to renewables, and on top of that is the highest utilizer in the United States of renewable energy at over 60%, which is pretty impressive. So that's pretty much it. According to data from the blockchain analytics provider Beacon Beaconcha.in, that's a clever website, Ethereum epochs 200,552 to 200,554 witnessed a sharp and sudden decline in the number of attestations. An epoch is a period of 32 slots during which validators propose and attest for blocks. An epoch typically lasts about 6 minutes and 24 seconds. The cause of the issue remains unclear. However, Ethereum developers said that the problem is being investigated to prevent it from occurring again. Now, I will point back to Solana being, highly centralized and proof of stake and experiencing similar issues where it's gone down 6 times last year. And I think that whatever is causing it can obviously happen again because they don't have a reason for it, which means that you'll probably see some issues over there. And unfortunately, like as I trade some of these meme coins that we're about to talk about, the fees are still high as crap. It is what it is, I guess. That's just what we'll keep saying today. Following the incident, pseudonymous Ethereum consultant Superfizz noted that client diversity was one of the main reasons that the loss of finality was so short-lived. However, he also pointed out that the loss of finality could have been avoided altogether if no client had more than 33% control. Centralized much? Client diversity refers to the number of software clients available to the network validators, and greater diversity among clients means a more secure and robust network for validators. So the only proposed issue that is running into here is one of centralization, which has been something that I think a lot of proof of work proponents were shouting at the top of their lungs for the longest time about the ETH move to proof of work or proof of stake from proof of work. And the fact that it also didn't solve the fees issue just makes this all that more insulting, I think, to the proof of work community. That's how I feel about it. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions in the live chat as well as the comment section below. Ergos Rosenbridge launched public beta testing on mainnet on May 9th. A highly anticipated dApps on Ergo is live now on mainnet. After a private test, Rosenbridge has begun public beta testing using Erg and Comet to bridge to Cardano and Ada and Hosky to bridge to Ergo. So we finally have these bridges over to Cardano that we've been waiting on for about, well, since I've ever started talking about Ergo. This is great to see. Rosenbridge is an open source trustless cross-chain bridge that aims to promote interoperability between Ergo and other blockchains, such as Cardano, Bitcoin, BNB Smart Chain, and Ethereum. It is an Ergo-centric bridge, enabling users to send and receive coins and tokens between Ergo and any other chain. Rosenbridge will be bridged with the Cardano blockchain first. When Rosenbridge fully launches, it will support all major Cardano wallets. That's pretty big news. However, it is important to note that the project is only available in its public beta testing phase. During this phase, Nami Wallet will be the only supported Cardano wallet, but you can go test it if you wish. It was chosen for testing because it is open source and offers auditable assumptions. Once implementation for Cardano is complete and Rosenbridge has fully launched, the Rosenbridge team will work to extend bridges to Bitcoin, BSC, and Ethereum as laid out in the Rosenbridge roadmap. Presently, Rosenbridge's first objective is to facilitate interoperability between Ergo and Cardano. As such, it will provide an easier way to leverage the unique features and dApps of both blockchains. Rosenbridge has stated the following disclaimer, quote, "The bridge is in public test mode. Please use it as you're at your own risk and only try with the amount that you're willing to lose. At this stage, there is no guarantee of a successful transfer or a refund. Also, redeem your tokens during the test period since the bridged assets are completely worthless." To learn more about Rosenbridge, interested parties can access the open source work on GitHub, and for regular updates, you can stay up to date on their Twitter profile as well. Links to this article down in the description. We've talked about Ergo a lot, so we won't get too much into the about or the Ergo Foundation. And there you go. But this has been a long-awaited update and upgrade for Ergo, and I'm happy to see that it's finally here. We'll have to see if that helps price for Ergo and pulls it kind of out of that $1.50 to $2 range, or if that continues to be the standard. Of course, with this bear market, it does appear that most coins are sticking within that range, primarily due to the fact that that is kind of the range of shift, that is happening within Bitcoin, and a rising tide raises all ships. So you really have to have something big enough to break these coins free of their tie to Bitcoin. Adding in a bridge, though, is obviously good for use case, right? And it should drive adoption theoretically. BlockFi crypto customers fail in dispute over coin transfers. So a bankruptcy judge has ruled that transfers made as of November 10th, 2021 by the cryptocurrency firm BlockFi are void. Therefore, the customers who attempted to retrieve almost $300 million in crypto following the freezing of transfers last year are not entitled to the digital assets. As tweeted out by Bitcoin Magazine, judge rules that BlockFi users gave up legal rights to their Bitcoin by using the platform, and all the $300 million of crypto deposits are now property of BlockFi. Take your Bitcoin off of exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. Yet again, another example of this. And it goes back to that individual financial responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, I always like to say, obviously quoting Spider-Man, when it comes to cryptocurrency and holding your own Bitcoin, holding your own crypto in general is paramount here. Look, when we look at something like the Bitcoin white paper and we determined that the goal of cryptocurrency from the very get-go was peer-to-peer transactions without a third party facilitating those transactions. We know that from a fundamental standpoint and from a principled standpoint, you shouldn't participate within centralized entities unless absolutely necessary. Examples of absolutely necessary are, of course, bridging yourself from a fiat system or the archaic fiat systems into cryptocurrency and back out. There's no other reason for that to be a form of storing your cryptocurrency. In fact, you should be getting it straight out into fiat or straight back into something you control. This brings up a lot of potential issues surrounding a lot of different coins, though, as we talk about it, because there are some coins that are not really even possible for you to hold in a decentralized manner. And until those are resolved for those particular coins, it makes it just a little bit less appealing to me. Examples of this would be utilizing something like ZIL Core, right? Even though I would say that it's a better form than a centralized exchange like BlockFi that is utilizing something like Gemini for custody, it still has some of those ties to centralization. So be very careful and pay attention to, if you have your keys, can you recover those keys? A good example is like if you generate a seed phrase on MetaMask, can you recover that? You can recover that seed phrase on Trust Wallet. The actual wallet that you're holding it in doesn't actually matter because you've generated that outside of it. If you generate a key or a backup of a wallet that is required for you to basically recover that to that specific application, then you have less control over that cryptocurrency. All right. The company filed for bankruptcy in November of 2021 and plans to either sell or reorganize its business to repay creditors. Those who maintained their assets in interest-bearing accounts forfeited certain ownership rights, while those in custodial accounts did not. The judge concluded that BlockFi ceased all transfers on November 10th, 2021 at 8:15 p.m. After the freeze, some customers attempted to relocate their assets to safer custodial wallets and were informed via the company's app that the transfer was successful. Kaplan stated during a brief court hearing that these notices were incorrect and that the user interface did not accurately reflect the transactions. The issue of ownership of digital coins and other assets in crypto company bankruptcies has become a central question in recent years. In a similar case, the ruling was based on Celsius having control over the assets and could use them to generate interest or invest them as it saw fit, rather than the customers having direct ownership of the assets. The idea was highlighted in the Celsius case, where a federal judge ruled that about 600,000 customers of the company did not own the assets they deposited into their accounts due to the language in the user agreements. Similar disputes have arisen in other high-profile crypto bankruptcies, including those of Mt. Gox and Quadriga CX. In both cases, customers claimed ownership of the digital assets they had deposited on the platforms, but court rulings have found that the bankrupt companies had control over the assets and therefore owned them. The lack of clear regulatory guidelines. You want to know what's even more effed up as I read that? Because the US government confiscated that Bitcoin from Mt. Gox and from all the hacks, and then is now selling it back onto the market. So it's like, basically, if you really want to get tinfoil hat, you have a strategy by the US government to confiscate or steal from its citizens and then profit off of it. It makes me so mad. The lack of clear regulatory guidelines for crypto companies has led to uncertainty over asset ownership and left customers vulnerable to potential losses in the event of company failures. As the crypto industry grows and more companies emerge, regulators are under increasing pressure to establish clearer rules and protections for customers to avoid these types of disputes in the future. No. Let me be extremely clear with everyone. Regulation is not going to save you. It will save the dumb idiot that bought Shiba Inu on crypto.com and holds it there. It's not going to save you. It's not going to provide you financial stability and freedom. What does is controlling your own keys and realizing that getting out of any company that is participating within this centralized format in the old fiat system is the only way to protect yourself. It's the only way to do it, and is the way that you have to move forward if you expect any actual change to take place. And the fact is, regulation is not going to solve jack shit. It's not going to. It's impossible. It's like trying to regulate Pirate Bay and torrents and all of that. It's impossible. It will not happen. And so you need to learn to protect yourself. It's your responsibility. There you go. But also, F Ben. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So, a new meme coin has come out from the smoke, and it is called F Ben. Why is this coming out? Well, there is a Twitter user known as Ben.eth. We could also talk about some other Bens that are also involved in these types of rug pulls. That has been traditionally, involved in a lot of rug pulls. And then most recently released the PSYOP as well as the Ben coin, only to find out after having people basically send him money or send Ethereum to his Ethereum address that he has lost the devs. So there's no contract address, there's no tokens, and a whole bunch of people lost money. Well, in response to that, somebody showed how simple it is to stand up a token and on Ethereum, and has released the FBEN token. And this was launched yesterday. It already has a contract address. You can import it into your MetaMask. You can purchase it on Uniswap or any of the other DeFi applications. You can participate on their Twitter if you like, or of course participate within the Telegram. And so this is basically just, and you gotta love the cursor here, this is just a kind of, it's a meme coin making fun of essentially tokens, right? And all of the issues that have been going on with them. They are extremely easy to stand up. If you take a bunch of money into your ETH wallet and then you lose a dev, it just doesn't look good, right? It should be easy enough for you to still follow through with the project. Many people can do this. There's a lot to the story. If you want to go follow along on the Twitter at FBEN, at FUK and follow along. It's pretty funny. That being said, it has been doing quite well here recently. I think it did just have a nice little dip, primarily due to the fact that it skyrocketed overnight and people are taking profits. Nothing wrong with that. I technically have not taken my profits, but I think I'm up like a stupid amount because I got into it last night. If you guys are curious, I do post some of this stuff when I hop in over on my locals at sonofatech.locals.com. So if you're looking at finding stuff early like this, go ahead and do it. Follow over at sonofatech.locals.com, and there will be posts when I find stuff like this. So it already has a DEX score of 60 out of 99, which is pretty hilarious. It does look like a lot of sales are going on right now. What is the projection here? I think people are expecting it to go to like a 5 million market cap or something like that, or at least that's the goal, just to surpass the BEN token. This is what is happening. Overall, pretty funny. I want to make it clear that I talk about this not for the financial portion or the making money portion. I talk about this because it is an example of how easy you can stand up a token like this and how many people are being taken advantage of in the search for the new PEPEAI coin, the new Shiba Inu, the new Dogecoin, all of that sort of thing. And there's also very specific differences between all of these types of things too. Take, for example, Dogecoin. Dogecoin is in and of itself a layer 1 blockchain. That is completely different from Shiba Inu, which is a token on the Ethereum blockchain. And so when you talk about which one's better, well, obviously the one that's validating transactions and actually working as a coin, to me, is better than buying a token that's built on top of a system that not only fails to complete finalized transactions, but also costs you a ton of money to invest in, right? And the ease of creating these tokens means that you can get caught in a very precarious situation, right? A lot of people buy at the top of something like PEPEAI. Let's go ahead and talk about PEPEAI though, because PEPEAI is not the real PEPEAI. What is PEPEAI coin, and can it flip meme coins like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu? PEPEAI coin is a new meme-inspired cryptocurrency that's growing faster than Shiba Inu in its early days, thanks to some big name exchange listings. The market valuation of PEPEAI coin, PEPEAI, has dropped by 65% as of May 12th, a week after its record high of 1.54 billion. Profit taking appears to be the primary reason behind the extreme price correction, after it rallied from almost nothing to as high as sub-penny after its launch on April 14th, while emerging as the fastest growing ERC token in the crypto market's history. PEPEAI coin captures people's attention by mimicking features of meme coins based on popular internet memes. The most well-known is Dogecoin, which uses the famous Shiba Inu dog meme as its logo. PEPEAI Coin is based on the Pepe the Frog meme created by Matt Fury in his 2005 cartoon Boys Club. The humanoid frog went on to become a mainstream meme in the mid-2010s, with singers Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj using it in their tweets. In 2021, Barnbridge founder Tyler Ward launched a low-resolution PEPEAI Coin NFT collection that reaped over $60 million in sales on the OpenSea auction platform. Similarly, the anonymous team behind PEPEAI Coin has leveraged the meme's current popularity on Twitter. They catalyzed early adoption by creating a coordinated meme campaign. Simultaneously, the media ran stories about early PEPEAI investors turning thousands of US dollars worth of investments into millions within a week, prompting more people to join the frenzy. If you see mainstream media post about somebody becoming a billionaire or millionaire off of a coin, it's too late. All right, now that we got that clear. For instance, the number of PEPEAI holders has grown from negligible to over 105,000 in a month, according to CoinCarp.com. But despite these positive price catalysts, PEPEAI Coin remains without any real use case for the average person. This isn't unlike Dogecoin. I'm gonna stop you, dude. I'm gonna stop you, Tyler. Dogecoin has a use case, which is transactions. It is transactional, and it is fast, and it is completely inflationary, setting it apart from a lot of the other layer 1 blockchains. Dogecoin is the bomb, bro. Come on, get out of here. That's like saying Litecoin doesn't have any real use case, or Bitcoin doesn't have any real use case. PEPEAI is still only about 5% of Dogecoin's market cap of over 10 billion. It's also 10% of the second largest meme coin Shiba Inus with a market cap of around 5 billion. Quote, it wouldn't be surprising to see PEPEAI surpass both at some point, if only momentarily. Now that it has gained legitimacy, argues Chase Devins, a researcher at Masari. The immediate listings across popular centralized crypto exchanges like Binance are the primary reason for the rapid rise in valuation, adds Devins. For instance, SHIB's first centralized exchange listing appeared more than 260 days after launch. In comparison, PEPEAI's centralized exchange debut occurred only 6 days after launch, and 22 days later, the token started trading on Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange by volume. Quote, not only do these integrations lower the barrier for retail speculation, they also enable large capital providers to provide off-chain market-making services, Devins notes, adding, quote, PEPEAI perpetual futures are now available on exchanges like Binance and Bybit to give users access to 100x leverage against PEPEAI's price. In only a few days, PEPEAI derivative volumes have already surpassed daily spot trading volumes. The launch of PEPEAI also coincides with the 100% rise in Uniswap's daily active users on Ethereum, now approaching its all-time high of 90,000 from May of 2021. Most of the users have engaged in meme coin trading, which includes other newly launched tokens such as Wojak, Turbo, and AI Doge. As a note of caution, the excitement and growth of PEPEAI shows similarities with the final phases of 2021's meme coin bull run. Notably, PEPEAI's short-term gains appear identical to Doge's price rally on the weekly charts. Also, its ongoing correction looks similar to Doge's 90% plus decline from its record high of 75 cents in May of 2021. PEPEAI USDT 4-hour versus Doge USD weekly price chart source trading view. In other words, PEPEAI Coin's price could extend its ongoing correction in the short term to basically sub penny way out there, or 35% below the current price levels. Moreover, a Dogecoin like 90% crash from the market top would bring PEPEAI's price even lower, obviously, which served as a resistance in April of 2023. Now, we talk about this because Zero Hedge has also recently been talking about another coin. You see, back in 2016, what we saw was a release of PEPEAI Coin. Now, PEPEAI Coin was its own layer 1 blockchain. The interesting thing about PEPEAI Coin, as opposed to PEPEAI the token, is that it did end up changing names. It would change names because PEPEAI the frog, got tied to the Donald Trump campaign and got labeled as white supremacy. And now that I suppose that has calmed down as far as that correlation between PEPEAI and the alt-right, or whatever you wish to call it, I still think that that is a little ridiculous from the very get-go. Why can Nicki Minaj tweet with a PEPEAI, but Donald Trump can? I can't. I don't really know without relating it to super negativity. So there is PEPEAICo.in here, and they have launched their token now, but they also were essentially had migrated from proof of work to proof of stake back in the day. And this team was working on that launch, and then it got taken over by the other PEPEAI. So I wanted to bring that up because we also have some new stuff coming into play here that is extremely interesting. PEPEAI coin, which is the original, is now going to also be creating a decentralized AI. And many people in crypto agree that utility is key to maintaining and growing a user base. We believe that GPUs left behind by the Ethereum merge are a sleeping computational giant. Creating a decentralized AI is the killer app crypto has been waiting for. It makes sense. Decentralized distributed computing in a consensus model and AI. This isn't wasteful. This doesn't need to be taxed 30%, and this is an innovation. Now, I'm not sure I agree with the tax of 30%. I do think that there will be workarounds, okay. If any part of the AI rendering has relation to the consensus model for a cryptocurrency, I do think that there is probably an argument for still being taxed 30% in the United States. That will be yet to be seen. There are a lot of problems that come along with AI, with mining farms, GPU mining farms in general, that we will have to discuss. And that is a topic that I have talked about with Daniel Keller in the past with proof of useful work on Flux, as well as talked about with Dynex. And we saw some issues with Dynex early on with the distribution of the models. We still have centralization issues as well, both with Flux and with Dynex. A fully decentralized model is obviously going to be the goal here. And this adds a use case to the original PEPEAI coin. Remember, OG PEPEAI coin, not PEPEAI. This is important to keep note of. Now, the exciting part is that the AI has been basically launched in Testnet. So if you want to, you can start taking a look at the Testnet and get everything going. And I will be working on a guide for this at some point because I'm super excited about it, but the GitHub is linked down in the description below. And this is the experimental testnet for decentralized peer-to-peer AI processing. It gives you the Linux commands to go ahead and get your system up. There are some requirements here that I will have to mention. You will need a 500 gigabyte SATA SSD drive at the minimum. You will need 16, I believe it's, 8 gigabytes of system memory per GPU. You will need a PCIe 3.0 by 16 from my understanding. And that is where all of this will kind of start changing. Oh, and on the GPU itself, you have to have 8 gigabytes or more of VRAM, meaning your base model will be an RTX 3070, right? Essentially. Maybe 5700s are fine. We'll have to see how they perform, that sort of thing. You also have to run each, from my understanding here too, each GPU will have to have its own process running. So there's a lot of stuff going on that is really exciting, but there are a lot of barriers to entry here, from converting a farm over from what was traditionally a GPU farm on PCIe 1 slots, etc., to now having this extra requirement that's going to require more hardware, right? You're going to have to upgrade motherboards, CPUs, system memory, all of that, okay? But it's still exciting. Is it worth the investment to get into it and migrate your whole farm over and prepare for AI? That is a discussion that I've been kind of having with myself for a while. mainly around the idea that at worst, if a coin becomes profitable that doesn't utilize AI or proof of useful work, you still have the GPUs to mine it, right? You just have more robust systems to do it. But at best case, the most profitable coins are proof of useful work AI. And because you've made that conversion, you will be able to profit off of it before other people are able to profit off of it, right? Because then you'll have this scramble of individuals and, GPU mining farms trying to convert everything over. So these are the reasonings and the thoughts behind all of it. I think this is really cool. I like to see it. PEPEAI Coin's been around a long time. A lot of y'all I know are in the community already, so you've already been aware of this coming down the pipeline. Check out their Telegram. Check out everything there. If you want to just purchase it, you can get it on Uniswap, but that's going to be really expensive for that token. There are other options like TXBit and some other ones that you can check out too if you did want to purchase it. But that's not financial advice or anything along those lines, right? I do have some of the tokens, and I will be participating in the testnet actually with this system right back here in RTX 4070. So that is the plan. And I think I found a little 500 gigabyte hard drive here to load that up onto. Let's get into miner releases for the week, and we got quite a few. We have LOL miner version 1.76. They improved performance of Blake 3 Alephium mining on NVIDIA Turing and newer cards by 15 to 18%. Now, this is something that I've been questioning for quite some time. There seemed to be something odd with the way the mining pools were built with Ironfish that allowed for the mining software to kind of manipulate something to get more hash rate. That's what was going on, or what it appeared to. Unfortunately, it felt like Blake 3 for Alephium was getting left behind in the dust because you just had Alephium sitting there not getting any of these performance improvements. So I'm excited to see some performance improvements for Blake 3 Alephium, and we'll have to test those out and see how they work. They also improved performance for Ironfish by 9 to 11% on NVIDIA Turing and newer cards. Slightly improved performance of Blake 3 Ironfish mining on AMD cards. Slightly improved performance of Nexa mining on NVIDIA Turing and newer cards. They updated DAG repair tables for Octaspace, ETHW, and ETC mining to cover current epochs. And they added the option screen to enable a special mining mode in case a GPU is connected to a screen to prevent shuddering. The value -1 activates this mode for all cards. Any value above or equal 0 will activate this mode for the GPU with index equal to the provided number. For example, screen 0 will activate it for the first card detected by the miner. Note, it is the nature of this option to cost some performance when used. At the moment, this option is available for ET hash, AMD cards, kaspa, NVIDIA, Nexa, Alephium, and Ironfish solvers. They fixed some bugs with Alephium mining on the RTX 4090. They fixed a bug making some NVIDIA-only rigs to need no CL parameter to mine Ironfish. They fixed a bug causing NVIDIA Ampere-based CMP HX GPUs and NVIDIA AX 1000 series not to mine Blake 3 algorithms. They fixed a bug rarely causing defect shares on AMD cards when mining Ironfish. Big release from LOL Miner. We also have another release from Gminer, version 3.4, which was also released 3 days ago. Significant hash rate improvements on the Ironfish algorithm, up to 10%. Says it's across the board, so go check that out. We also have BZ Miner version 15 released 3 days ago. Remember, they've been working pretty directly with LOL Miner, if I recall, so I assume a lot of this is going to be pretty similar. They added Novo, which is now supported, and that's because Novo is showing most profitable on hashrate.no, right? So it makes sense that you would get that added. The other things is Nexa development is continued joint effort with LOL, like we mentioned earlier. NVIDIA driver 530 and higher has a bug that reports wrong clock frequencies. Overclock should still be applied correctly. And they note that some people have been having issues with the latest version of Hive running BZ Miner. If you experience BZ Miner freezing when it starts and you're on the latest Hive update, currently the only fix is to roll back to a previous Hive version. Reported version working is a 6.219, kernel 5.1. Currently looking into this. Then we also had a new release from SRB Miner. This is going to be version 2.2.6 2 days ago. Improved mining performance on algorithm Blake 3 Alephium for AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel. So that's nice to see. They improved mining performance on SHA-256 DT on all makes and models for Novo. They improved mining performance on Dynex for AMD and NVIDIA GPUs. And they improved mining performance on SHA-512-256D Radiant for NVIDIA. That's Pascal and Turing, and AMD, the GFX 1100. The improved mining performance on SHA-3D for NVIDIA GPUs. That's going to be Kyla Coin. And they improved mining performance on many dual algorithms for AMD GFX 1100. Added kernels for dual mining, Dynex, Blake 3, Ironfish, Dynex, and kaspa. They added support for AMD GFX 1100 on SHA-3D. This is a newer one that we definitely need to look into for Kyla Coin. They fixed low diff shares issue when connecting to some RXD, Novo, and Kyla Coin pools. And they fixed low hash rate issue when connecting to Alephium pools. Fixed some bugs when using multi-algorithm job mode and removed keyboard shortcut H. Hash rate stats will be displayed periodically. Bummer, I kind of liked pressing H and mashing it. Then finally, we have a new Rigel miner version 1.4.7 released 3 days ago. Performance improvements for Turing and Ampere GPUs. Zilliqa added ZIL test parameter to simulate ZIL sessions every 30 seconds, useful for testing overclock settings. Alephium performance regression, they fixed that as a bug fix. And Zilliqa overclock settings are not applied during DAG generation at startup, causing power spikes. That's probably why they also added the ZIL test so that you can test and make sure that is functioning. Looking at mining profitability for the day, let's go ahead and get in the 13 cents a kilowatt hour. Radiant has popped back up for the 4000 series for NVIDIA GPUs. It was showing Novo earlier as most profitable for a little while. 6000 series GPUs for AMD are showing Novo as most profitable. The 30 series is still showing Novo as most profitable, except for the 3090, which is more profitable on Radiant. And then we have the A5000, 6000 series. What do we got for the 5000 series? So we'll go down a little bit. Intel still on Dynex. The 5000 series is showing G-Link and Clore pretty much. Looks like Vertcoin is the highest profitability, oddly enough, right now, which is still negative on the 5700 XT, but extremely interesting. Mining pool hash rates or mining hash rates. Bitcoin is up to 395 exahash a second. It did have a decrease in difficulty this past week, but it looks like it'll go back up. So that should increase. It's down 6.75% over the past day. Most of these, like, we can go look at, looks like a difficulty dip in Ergo, still getting gamed here just because of the way their difficulty adjustment works. You can see the spike down, spike down, spike down, unfortunately. Kaspa has a hash rate. It crossed 1 petahash last week, I think, something like that. Maybe even before that, a couple weeks ago. Seems to be settled in right at that 1 petahash. Does that mean the KS2s are already deployed and we can expect that? Maybe. One of the things I learned from tactical investing, if you guys want to check out that video, is that the ASIC manufacturers in a lot of cases, Bitmain in particular, will manufacture a product, sell it once it's manufactured, and then mine on it and delay the shipment. Is that what happened? Is that possibly oh my God, what is going on? Is that possibly what's going on with Ice River and the KS2s? Maybe. You would hope so, because if there are more KS2s that have not been manufactured and are not on the network hash rate could potentially go up even higher, which is a worry that I would have. Unfortunately, the other thing that I really don't like that I'm seeing here is that we've lost a lot of solo miners, right? So with this transition to ASICs and FPGAs, solo miners have gone the way of the dinosaur. And while we had one of the most impressive decentralized solo mining coins to ever release in kaspa, it has now turned into the same as every other network, where the pools take over and a majority of the hash rate is on pools. So a little disappointed to see that. It is what it is, but I think that is a testament to the fact that, yes, ASICs, FPGAs do tend to, due to the increase, of course, of hash rate, start to centralize hashing power and hash rate. And so that is clearly what is happening on kaspa. You know, I had that discussion with Shai. He was of the opinion that it would not. But, you know, if you compare the percentage here now, which is like 16% compared to what it used to be, which was closer to 40 to 50%, that is clearly happening. We have a centralization of hash power happening on kaspa now. Conflux is down 6.21 to 6.21 terahash and should have a coinciding difficulty dip. I don't think it's fully adjusted yet, but I've been mining this one here for quite some time, so I'm interested in it personally. Radiant, let's go ahead and take a look. 135 terahash a second. Difficulty is way up, so pay attention to that. Take a look at Nexa, is way up in hash rate as well. Then we got to look at Novo, which is probably skyrocketing in hash rate too. Yep, up to 17.57 terahash a second. Be careful coin chasing. Right now, the GPU market, mining market, is back in that huge slump. It's a very difficult one to navigate. I have a lot of GPUs turned off. I am mining Conflux, and I'm mining some Dynex, and I'm mining some Ironfish, right? And that may change here in the future, just as the power costs continue to go up and the GPU mining goes down. I think I will be refocusing on changing my hardware strategy over to the AI strategy and prepping for that. But I'll talk more about that over on sonofatech.locals.com if you're interested. ASIC mining hardware, we have MinerStat now listing the KS2, which is making $662 US dollars a day, which is simply insane. In second place there, of course, we still have the Antminer L7 coming in at, $5 a day on Doge, that sort of thing. Nice hash script. It's a little bit higher. It can merge mine. Keep that in mind. iPolo V1 is doing 1079 on ETH-O. ETH-O making kind of a resurgence is really interesting. They had a lot of issues early on when they first launched, seem to be recovering. Then you got the Jasminer X4 server, all that sort of stuff going on. If we scroll down to the S19 Pro, which we like to take a look at, are we more profitable on mining Bitcoin? And at 10 cents a kilowatt hour, we are. It does look like the S19 Pro is profitable now, which is good to see. Let's go ahead and do the 13 cents a kilowatt hour. At 13 cents a kilowatt hour for home miners, you are going to be at a loss. So keep that in mind. Coin market cap, biggest gainers for the past 24 hours for proof of work coins. Ethereum Fair is up 22%. Meowcoin is up 12%. Conflux is up 8.5%. Alephium is up 5.62%. Nexa is up 4.68%. Radiant's up 4.5. Ravencoin is up 2.41. That's enough to really check out. Over the past 7 days, everything's been in the red. It's been a really rough week. Those who lost the least amount of value was Nexa, Alephium, Ethereum Classic, Raptorium, and Ergo. Let's get into questions and answers for the day. Remember, super chats are never required, always appreciated, first to be answered because they're the easiest to read. Tagging at Son of a Tech will highlight the message orange, and I will be able to read it easier. I got a couple here. Serpent said, Son of a Tech, be careful with Nova. Not a lot of volume and easily can be unprofitable. Yeah, I've looked at Novo. It's not something that I would mind personally, but thanks for making that note for people that are watching live. I turn off the AC when I'm streaming, and I got pit stains like a mother, dude. It's fine. If we have no questions, I'll be moving on over. Hugo Down says, ask Son of a Tech for PEPEAI. Do you know if an NVMe will work or does it have to be an SSD? I would recommend an SSD because of the amount of PCIe lanes that are required, right? So if you use an NVMe, that utilizes PCIe lanes, unless you're using an NVMe that is specifically SATA, right? But then you're at the same speed as a SATA SSD, so it really doesn't matter. It's just form factor at that point. Kat says, ask Son of a Tech, are you bullish on Raptorium? No. Shilrish says, ask Son of a Tech, what CPU board combo are you looking at for AI compute? I'm looking at the Threadripper 1900X with the ASRock Taichi X399 motherboard. Shio says, ask Son of a Tech, Rabid Mining and Red Panda are my models in life when it comes to crypto. To honor this, can create a channel called Son of a Rabid Panda. Have fun with that. Helix says, ask Son of a Tech, a bit off topic. Is there any way to remote access AM Logic ASICs? I do not know. I'm sorry, I don't have the answer for that. Detroit says, ask Son of a Tech, when WTF is PEPEAI vid? Well, I'll be working on it. Obviously have to sit down and get work done, but Diablo 4 beta is taking priority this weekend. I gotta go try to beat this world boss today. So I would not be Serpent. I would not be shifting I would not be shifting for Flux only. In fact, like my preference would not to be mine Flux. I'm not that bullish on Flux because I just want more decentralization in Flux. Okay. But that doesn't mean that you don't mine what's most profitable. There are just, if you prep for AI, you're prepped for more options than just mining cryptocurrency, right? Thoughts on Zerg pool? It's a pool. I guess auto swapping's cool. No real thoughts. I use it sometimes. Detroit says Flux has been giving a shilly vibe lately. I think, well, same with Ergo, right? This is common when you'll start to see, like we've already started seeing that with kaspa, right? Anytime a coin moves focus away from just working on the coin in development to also adding on this marketing portion, it's gonna come across as shilly. It just is, right? It's like the guy on Twitter now with kaspa that just takes videos of himself saying kaspa to the moon and riding in body paint on his body. It's annoying, it's tacky, it's stupid, and it makes me not want to buy kaspa, right? Like that's that's the meme coin scene. But, you know, you got to detach yourself from what your perception is and what is profitable and whatever, right? Nick Kane says, that's Tech. 2 new coins I have been mining with some good profits, all Ethereum and Game Pass. They are on mining pool stats. Yeah, Game Pass is that new kind of copy of Neoxa, right? That'll be interesting. At least like fork-wise, it's KAS. But it is just a fork. Hawk, thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Says, love the show, showing support. Alf thoughts, new exchanges coming. I really like Alephium. I went ahead and mined a bunch of it on my own node a while ago. I do want to retest now that we have some of the performance improvements coming along for it. We'll have to see what happens. Mamba says, how do you feel about Octospace? Don't know about it. Knox is asking about thoughts on Ergos Rosenbridge. Already talked about it earlier in the show. You can rewatch. Dio says, that's I think it seems that ASIC miners dump and don't hold, causing major drops like Kadena or Kaspa. Thoughts? Supply just gets too big. Well, if you have, yeah, you're more incentivized to sell, right? Because those operations are high and you're trying to get ROI on those machines. It's not the people that are buying the ASICs or the FPGAs from the manufacturers. It's the manufacturers and the distributors themselves that cause the issue, because they are a money-making business. Once again, talked about this with Tactical Investing. Highly recommend going back and rewatching that. But the business model for ASIC manufacturing puts it in a position to where it's bad for networks. It just is. Because what they do is they get a bunch made, they sell them. When they get them, they keep delaying their shipment and they mine on them. Then as soon as they ship them out to everybody, they dump the coin. So on smaller coins, it's way more noticeable. Something like Kadena. They take the Bitcoin mining or ASIC manufacturing strategy. You apply that to something like Kadena and you destroy it. That's what you do. I mean, that's what we saw happening with Kadena, right? They will do that to Kaspa too. They will play that exact same strategy out. It would be more detrimental to Kaspa to have somebody like Bitmain apply that strategy than it would be to Bitcoin or anything else. But the FPGA manufacturers are the one that caused it on Kaspa, to be clear, because we're probably in the process of the Ice River right now causing this. If they're going to go do the same strategy, which they probably will. But what we saw with Kaspa most recently was all from the FPGA mining community, right? Where that's why you had no access to FPGAs. They were mining Kaspa, and then they released access to the FPGAs and dumped the fucking market, right? And then sold all the FPGAs. That's why you started seeing like retailers like Coastal Crypto get them. And then they dump the market, right? So once they sell off the FPGAs, they dump all the coin they mined. And this is a rinse and repeat model. It's literally the fucking business model. So if Shy or I don't care who it is, anybody wants to argue with me that this doesn't happen and it's not a problem on any of these networks, it most definitely is. It's just the business model comes from Bitcoin, which is more robust. When you apply that to smaller coins, it is an issue. That's going to wrap it up for me today over here. That's 1 hour in. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I'm going to head on over to twitch.tv/blindrun. And I will get that out to you guys right now. I'm going to be playing Diablo 4, probably listening to Sleep Token, and grinding out a hardcore barbarian, trying to get the trophy launch. If you guys are fans of Diablo, check it out. If you're not, I understand. You do you. Have a great weekend. I hope to see you guys over there. I will get the Twitch out right now. Wah, wah, wah. La, la, la.